The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Greek Festival on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Kernersville Auto Museum. We'll tell you more about the museum later on. That's when the roundtable shows up too. We'll get into all sorts of controversies with them. Great guests, lots of information we're packing into this show. Where we want to start is two good buddies of mine and yours, because they've been on the show a lot. On my immediate right, our good friend, President Ken Engel. He's president of Alamance Community Colleges, Dr. Engel, and next to him is our good buddy Hank Henning, manager of government community relations for Duke Energy. Never had the two of you on together. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Hank, Duke Energy and your foundation especially has been active in supporting workforce development and creation of jobs in the energy industry. Talk about that just for a second and why Ken's with us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. So as we've talked about many times on the show before, we rely heavily on our partners in the community college system to provide us the workforce that we're going to need going into the future. And in the energy industry, we have massive expansion going on. In fact, we just cut a ribbon on the Person County Energy Complex. And so we're anticipating in the next 3 years to maybe have somewhere from 700 to 1,000 jobs coming online.
Right.
And so our Duke Energy Foundation did a grant opportunity, $500,000 statewide, in the form of $25,000 checks, and Alamance Community College had a great application. They're going to pay dividends to us down the road for that Person County complex.
Absolutely. Ken, how is this grant going to impact on what you're doing overall and impacting students and programs?
Well, you know, grants like the Duke Energy Grant are critical to how we make sure that we're serving our community and connecting our community to the workforce. And so with the Duke Energy Grant, we're building out a pipe fitters program as part of our welding curriculum that will provide not only jobs for Duke Energy, but tremendous opportunity across the entire region as we see an increasing demand for these types of individuals.
Well, now, what does this do for the future? Let's look ahead, because I know both of you carry a crystal ball with you out in your car right now. What does this do for the future of workforce development in our region? That's part A, Ken. And part B would be, what does it do in accelerating your vision for those efforts at Alamance Community College?
Absolutely. You know, we have two sides of the equation that we have to think about all of the time. One is certainly how we support students and make sure that we're aligning them with programs that will lead to career outcomes. But the other side of it is our business partnerships. Partnerships with companies like Duke Energy that provide not only workforce opportunities for our students, but in this case provide funding opportunities to help us build new programs, which is something that can oftentimes be expensive and difficult to do. So it really helps us create those bridges between our students and those workforce opportunities.
Right, and we didn't rehearse this or anything, but I knew you were coming over. Hank was bringing you, and you know, we're talking about Duke Energy Foundation. A lot of people don't know that Alamance Community College has a foundation.
We do have a foundation, absolutely.
And you do a lot of work with that, and people can contribute to that. Is that right?
They can absolutely contribute to our foundation. We provide scholarships. We certainly provide other financial resources to support students as they're coming to college. We want to make sure that every single person in our community is able to attend college if they would like to and have the opportunity that comes from that. And
also, as we talked to some of your folks before, it also opens the doors for transfers. I know you just signed an agreement, I think, with East Carolina or something?
We did. We signed multiple agreements with East Carolina University into their engineering programs, but we have transfer agreements with many of the universities in North Carolina, both private and public universities, and they're a critical part of the ecosystem of education.
Hank, your final thoughts on the link between Duke Energy and community colleges in general?
We're just proud for the continuing alignment that's going on between us and colleges like Alamance Community College, so we can, you know, play a direct role in that workforce of the future. I mean, those jobs are coming online. I just encourage people to go to our careers website, go to Alamance Community College's website, see what we're doing and all the positive things coming down the pike.
Well, speaking of that, you can go to alamancecc.edu. That's up on screen, alamancecc.edu. And also, please visit duke-energy.com. Lots of information on there through the various portals and things that Duke Energy is doing and the foundation. And it's basic services as well. That's duke-energy.com. To Dr. Ken Engel, to Hank Henning. Guys, thanks for all you're doing for so many people. I appreciate it.
Thank you
for having us.
We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why can no one help me?
This is a nightmare.
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. It's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on Triad Today, and man, there's something exciting about to happen in the community. It's called the Greek Festival. It happens every year, but it's always better and better each year. And speaking of being better and better, this young lady, who's been with us many times before, gets better and better, and we just love having her here. Ashton Fowler is marketing manager for Modern Auto, part of the Fowler family that's been doing so much for the community over the years. How you doing?
Doing well. Hope you are, Jim.
We'll talk about the Greek Festival specifically in just a minute, but as you and I usually do when we do these segments, what is it about you and your family that over the years you feel like, you know, there's so many things you get involved with in the community? Why the Greek Festival?
Well, we got involved with the Greek Festival back in 2019, so this is our 8th year being the title sponsor of the festival. But Winston-Salem and the Triad area is made up of so many different cultures and heritages, so we really like to celebrate that where we can, and anything that brings people together is really a great opportunity to be involved.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned off camera your brother had a connection to the...
Yeah, when we were younger, my brother actually went to the preschool there at the Greek church for a year.
Church. Isn't that great?
Yeah, absolutely a great program.
Isn't that neat? What do you think makes the Greek Festival so special year after year? People always talk about it.
Yeah, it really is such a family event that everyone can enjoy. I remember going when I was a kid with me and my brother. My dad would take us and enjoy the food, and there's always kids running around having a good time. So it really is for people of all ages.
Yeah, what do you remember when you were a kid going? Was it a specific kind of food or anything you have memories of that you thought was pretty neat?
I remember watching the dancing, and there was actually a girl that I went to school with who was involved in the dancing. So it was really cool to get to see her do that. And then the sweet treats, of course, those are the best.
Right. And something else that you mentioned to me that I didn't know is that nowadays, and it used to be in the old days, you either go there or you could go there and say, well, I'm going to take some food back because the food is great, as you said. I'm going to take some food back to my family, takeout. But now they've got another option, right?
Yeah, drive-through. So if you're not able to come and stay at the festival, which is obviously the best option, you can still come through the drive-through and you just place your order on the spot, and they've got plenty of food ready to go, and get your food to go. Take it home, take it back to work, and share.
Right. You had mentioned, I think you already answered this in terms of different cultures and things, but I grew up in a neighborhood where we had a Greek family, an Iranian family, a family from Nicaragua. It was very, we had a nice little middle-class neighborhood of different folks.
Yeah.
Why is it so important that we all sort of support something like the Greek Festival?
I mean, it really is a place that everyone comes together. I think it's so important to learn about each other's culture and heritage. We do have so many Greek members of our community. A lot of the restaurants in the community are run by Greek families. So I think it's really important.
Yeah. I'm going to put something up on screen here and leave it up for just a while because I want you to check this out. Greek Festival, May 15th, 16th, and 17th. So you have 3 days. You can check this out. And or you could go all three. You could go all 3 days if you want to. And it's at the Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church. And there's a website, WS Greek Festival, of course, stands for Winston-Salem. WSGreekFestival.com is the website, which will give you all sorts of information about what's going to be there and how you can, the times and how you can get there, this kind of thing. So I hope you will check that out. Again, it's WSGreekFestival.com. And while you're surfing the internet, should you need the help with the folks at Modern Auto, and they have dealerships all over the area, different kind of cars. Speaking of, that's why Ashton likes it here, is because we're surrounded by a bunch of cars, right?
It's a great location.
Yeah,
on
great
brand.
location. She made me come here. But anyway, no, it's modernauto.com. Modernauto.com is the website. Check it out, and because the Fowler family and Modern Auto do so much for the community, and we appreciate it all the time. Ashton Fowler, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive.
And we know you will make a difference wherever you go.
UNCG. Find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with the good folks from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. And this first-time visitor to the show does a whole lot of work. He's always running around doing things, helping people. We're so glad he's with us now. Dylan White is Chief Compliance Officer for something called Healthy Blue Care Together at Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Graduate of East Carolina and Appalachian State, and we're so glad you're here with us. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is, as you sent me, I think in an email, you or Benny sent me an email one day about this being National Foster Care Month.
It is.
Why is that important, and how is Blue Cross helping these kids?
Yeah, well, once again, thank you for having me on the show today. We're really thrilled to have the opportunity to talk about not only what's happening here in North Carolina. There's some exciting milestones that I'm going to be able to talk to you about, but it's also National Foster Care Month in May.
Right.
And so, at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, the well-being and support of children, youth, and families served by the child welfare system has been paramount on our minds for many, many years. And given the opportunity we've had to collaborate with the North Carolina General Assembly, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, and local communities here, we've really had an opportunity to help shape and inform what is now the Children Family Specialty Plan, which is an exciting new program that is delivered by Blue Cross North Carolina called Healthy Blue Care Together. And it is a really exciting program that really provides a lot of supports and services, and really a one-stop shop for those served and formerly served by the child welfare system.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan. And you mentioned very briefly, let me circle back, you mentioned the State General Assembly. What did they do specifically to help in relation to this program you're working on?
Yeah, so for many years there has been talks and strategies that have been informed by local communities to develop a single statewide plan called the Children Family Specialty Plan. And this plan is really meant to create a systematic shift from a regional approach to delivering child welfare to a statewide approach to this new service. And so that program is called the Children Family Specialty Plan, and is something that the General Assembly, the Department of Health and Human Services really spent a lot of time strategizing on how we can, improve long-term goals for
Absolutely.
Youth and well.
Absolutely. And under your banner, of course, specifically, you've got the Healthy Blue Care Together plan. Why is that different?
It is, I think first and foremost, we really think of this as a public health program. And so we recognize that there are long-term goals that Healthy Blue Care Together wants to be able to support to increase the system and capacity within North Carolina child welfare. But it's also bridging the gap between what local communities are doing today. And, one thing can't happen without the other. And so our goal is to try to make that bridge and really scale and amplify things that are happening on the ground.
Well, now, Blue Cross working with children, we just do great work on foster care, but it's, as some things you've written to me about before, it's buoyed by the community and community involvement. So in that regard, my question is, how are Triad area partners really showing up to work with you and help for this initiative?
We have some really strong and wonderful partners here in the Triad. Crossnor comes to mind. Even the local community Department of Social Services, they are the ones who are on the front line, who are really, fielding the really difficult work. And so we have the ability and responsibility, frankly, to help provide them supports and ways to amplify, some of the stresses and burdens. And we are able to kind of take some of the lessons that they learn and see how it applies to other areas of the state, because I think that's one of the strong programmatic goals that the partners in the Triad are able to really test and have a really strong relationship in the community that we can help kind of place elsewhere too.
Quick personal question for you, very quickly. What gratification do you get from doing your job right now?
Oh, a lot. I am a public health person at heart, and so being able to, I think, see in real time how policies and community partners come together in real action, I think is the greatest part of this role and this work. And it's going to take a long time for true systematic change, but this is one step in that process that's really moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Up on screen, bluecrossnc.com. That website again, bluecrossnc.com. Lots of portals to explore, find out what's available, different programs and services and plans that you can look into. And folks like Dylan, you're making quite a difference. Thanks for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Banking is like going for a swim. You don't need all the complicated stuff, but you don't want to feel exposed either. At Truliant, we give you just what you need, so you can manage your money on the go or stop by a branch whenever you need to. It's all about having options, while also keeping life simple, with low rates, free financial advice, and friendly faces. So check out Truliant. We have just what you need.
Back now on Triad Today. I'm always excited to have these folks on the show. They do so much for so many people through the Petty Family Foundation. Next to me, Rebecca Petty Moffett, yes, daughter of the King, Richard Petty. She's executive director of the Petty Family Foundation. Shannon Newman, our good friend, is director of that organization. Good to see you, girls.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jim.
Rebecca, remind the folks very quickly what the mission of the foundation is about and who you help.
So we like to say that we help those who help others. So we do a lot with veterans. We do a lot with scholarships. Of course, we support Victory Junction. So
I remember your mom, when she was alive, was very instrumental early on, many, many years ago, in helping other people through setting up charities and foundations and things. As you were growing up and became a woman and looking at from a little girl all the way up, did that sort of impact the way you feel as terms of your commitment to the foundation now?
So I feel like my parents, they were able to always give back, and they just kind of inbred that in all of us. You know, like we were so fortunate. We got to do a lot of things and got to travel and got to see a lot of things, and so they just always wanted to come back and kind of pay it forward in our local community. Right.
Shannon, I understand you have a big fundraising event coming up, so I want you to tell me all about it. Who, what, when, where?
We do. It's our annual Blue Jeans and Boots dinner coming up on May the 13th. It's going to be at Adamant Farm, which coincidentally is where Kyle used to live several years ago, but now is a great venue. They have weddings and events. So that's on May the 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
That's where, in Trinity, or?
It's in Trinity, yes.
Okay. Now, what will folks experience when they come to this event? Give me an idea.
Oh gosh, this is such a fun event. It's not your typical boring little dinner. Of course, the King will be there wearing his blue jeans and boots. So we encourage all of our folks to wear blue jeans and boots. And we're going to have some great food, great music. We'll have some surprise guests. Just to give you a little hint, they're on a show called Moonshiners.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sure there'll be a little bit of moonshine to taste. And just all around great time. We'll have an auction, a live and a silent auction.
Well, give me an example. I don't know if you can give this away or not, but or reveal it. But on the silent and live auction, give me an example or two of maybe some things we might see that we can bid on.
Oh, so usually for our live auctions, we have something that was owned by the King himself. It's been belt buckles before, cowboy hats. Can't really reveal what we're going to be giving away or auctioning off this year, but those are the types of things that you might see on the live auction side. Silent auction side, you might see an event, some type of game that you could bid on.
Like a sport, going to a football game or something. Well, I tell you, your daddy's stuff really goes high with, belt buckles and hats and things like that. Maybe if I could, I can give you one of my belt buckles and What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
we'll try.
We'd love to do that.
We have a live artist, and she always comes and paints a picture during the event,
Yeah.
and that usually goes for.
Is that Laura Ashley?
Mm-hmm.
I love Laura Ashley.
Yeah.
She's been on the show before.
Yeah, she does good work.
Well, Rebecca, let me finish up with you. Why should, kind of a serious question, why should everybody sort of support this foundation? Maybe they don't live right near where your family is. Maybe they've never heard of the foundation until today. But why should everybody get behind what you're doing?
Well, just because we do so much in the community, like it might not be you giving directly to the Alamance County veterans, but we do to support the veterans in our area. And Alamance is not our county, but we just do our community.
You help people throughout the region, which I think is really good. All right, up on screen, Blue Jeans and Boots. That's Wednesday, May 13th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And you can go to pettyfamilyfoundation.org. pettyfamilyfoundation.org to find out more information about that. So if you go to that website, Shannon, can you buy tickets in advance, or do you do it at the door? How's that going to work?
So so you have to buy the tickets in advance so we know how much food to have. We don't want to run out of food on anybody.
Got it.
And you can also just make a general donation on the website as well.
All right. Ladies, thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years. And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community. Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round, so everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making health care better for all. The Roundtable is brought to you by Sutton Brothers, locally owned and operated and serving all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the Roundtable with a quick shout out to the good folks here at the Kernersville Auto Museum. Check it out. It's free to come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You will love it. Lots of cars. A lot of them run on gas, sort of like these three guys. Next to me is Ogie Overman. Dave Briggs, Mr. Theater, is with us, and Keith Granberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. All right, guys. The shooter at last week's Correspondents' Dinner arrived in Washington by train. Why, you may ask? Because carry-on bags are not routinely searched for weapons on trains. Would you like to see TSA screeners at all train stations the same as airports? Okay.
Let's don't go there. Let's don't ruin train travel like we ruin airline travel.
Dave Briggs.
I'd still like to see folks go through a magnetometer there, as having ridden on a train. That, and also in the luggage compartment, because you can put basically anything in a train luggage compartment.
Mr. Granberry.
Well, on airplanes, they don't check every piece of luggage. You know, there's always an opportunity, but I think that you check the people getting on the train, but checking everybody's luggage is still impossible today.
All right, controversy is still brewing over the selection of Greensboro's new police chief, who comes from Ohio, over Greensboro's long-serving assistant chief, Stephanie Martis. Now the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee, an official committee, is calling for the new chief's job offer to be rescinded. Guys, you think that'll happen, Ogie?
Well, typically those advisory boards don't have a lot of power. They don't have the decision-making power, so I think the original decision will stand.
Dave.
I agree with that. They are advisory, and the other thing is that they're not the HR department, so they didn't do all the vetting, or they weren't the group that did the search. So there may be information out there. I'm sure this other candidate was wonderful.
All right, Keith.
I think with the political climate, it may cause a change. I think right now people are trying to look at how they deal with things from a political standpoint. And I think they probably have something on him, the reason why they're saying that, and I think it's going to come out. Interesting. All right, the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Board has proposed a new policy whereby the superintendent can remove a student
from school the moment he is charged with a felony rather than wait until the student is convicted. You guys okay with expelling an arrested student before he even goes to trial? Ogie Overman.
Don't we still ascribe to innocent until proven guilty?
We do, but they've made this change.
I don't like it.
Dave Briggs.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I think there must be another alternative for those students who are in this situation to be able to be schooled.
Keith, you've helped hundreds of at-risk kids who had been expelled years ago when you were working with the Urban League. You were head of the Urban League, and you got them back on track. What do you think about this new policy that they can just expel them because they've been arrested?
I think it's a terrible policy. Even when kids get charged, I think you have to look at the crime itself. You can't keep kids out of school. That's why they start doing crime in the first place, because you expel them from school. You got to find a way to keep kids motivated to stay in school.
A Washington Post columnist says America broke away from England 250 years ago. It's time to stop saying that we speak, quote unquote, English. He wants President Trump to declare American as our official language. Good idea, bad idea, Ogie?
Do you know who the columnist was? Was it William Sapphire?
No, it wasn't Sapphire.
Sounds like Sapphire.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's an idiotic idea.
You think so?
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, I think that's pretty dopey.
I almost liked it. I don't know. Well, all right, Keith, what do you think?
I think that we are speaking English.
Is that right?
And that's what it is, English.
Can't spend a lot of time on this one, but very quickly, Virginia voters passed a referendum and said they wanted to redistrict. Now, it's going to be more fair than what the old voting districts were. Just like in North Carolina, we've gerrymandered. But now, unlike North Carolina, the judge up there told them, I'm overriding that. Guys, in general, quickly, should judges ever be allowed to overturn a referendum passed by voters? Quickly,
I don't
Ogie.
know ever, but this Trump-Luddite judge clearly cannot do that.
All right, Dave.
Well, the referendum itself was actually unconstitutional based on the Virginia Constitution.
All right, Keith.
Then if that's the case, North Carolina should be unconstitutional. These other states, the judge should not be able to overrule the vote of the people.
And Virginia and Pennsylvania, a little different. They're Commonwealth. But anyway, all right. Finally, guys, a FEMA official claims he was teleported from one location to another location 50 miles away. I think he ended up at a Waffle House and didn't know why. This is like in Star Trek, where they beam you aboard back and forth. It's called teleporting. And this guy sticks by the story. He says it really happened. He was just teleported. Guys, have you ever been teleported? Would you ever want to be teleported? Ogie.
And this guy has some power in the federal government.
That's right.
Yeah, and in Star Date 5291, I'd like to be.
Dave.
I'm not sure I've ever been teleported, but there have been times driving through Kansas and Oklahoma where I felt like I had been teleported.
Keith, you ever been teleported?
Yeah, I was teleported last week. I went from here to the Dominican Republic.
That's called flying. That's called flying. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this, the Surgeon General recently issued a report saying it's healthy for you to drink wine every single day. Asked what he thought of the report, a man who drinks wine every single day said, well, what was the question? You get that?
I got that.
For all of us here on Triad Today, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.